Maury can't help these people. Sometimes the cases on this show are just way too much for Maury to handle. The backstory behind these paternity cases will leave your mouth open and head shaking in disbelief. I couldn't even go by thinking such scenarios happen in real life. Before wasting any more time, here are the people Maury couldn't seem to help.
Mom got really sick and she was put on life support. Right before she died, she said to me, "Always remain close with Q. You're closer than you think you are."
Number 5. Kenetha, Q, and Raheem. Kenetha's mother passed away recently, and the day before she died, her mother made a confession that led Kenetha and her best friend Q to believe they're more than just best friends, but sisters. What happens after the results is shocking. Kenetha believes that Raheem could be her biological father since they both felt a stronger connection towards each other than just being best friends. Raheem's longtime girlfriend, Virginia, thinks otherwise and even raises her doubts on Q, too, claiming she isn't Raheem's daughter. Comparing the girl's photo against Raheem, still, Virginia didn't see a resemblance between them and even suggested both the girls get a DNA test done just to clarify the situation. Raheem didn't have anything to deny or object and was as clueless as the girls. All he wanted to know was the truth, but he believed Q was his daughter. As Maury reads out the results, Kenetha turned out to not be her daughter. What he didn't expect was to find out that Q wasn't his daughter either. The man was very heartbroken considering he'd raised her as his own and grown to love her as such. Her stepmother Virginia promised to love her as her own and continue to offer the support as an acting mother. Talk about a family triangle.
You think they look alike?
They got the same eyes. They ain't got the same color. He got his mama color, but they got the same eyes. Look at this.
Number 4. Lexi and Wayne. Lexi and Wayne first appeared on The Maury Show to get clarification if they were an incest relationship because they suspected to be sharing the same father. The man whom they accused was a neighborhood Casanova who had relations with many women around the block. They felt awkward because people around used to call them outcasts, but luckily, when the DNA results came out, it turned out they weren't siblings. This time on the show, however, they're up against each other. Lexi thought that she would live happily with Dwayne for a long time, but now she doesn't know who to believe. She has doubts about Dwayne's loyalty and feels like he may be messing around with her stepsister, Akia, as well as a family friend, Deshay, whom Lexi has been friends with for years. Lexi says her suspicions started when her husband and Akia started getting close despite having a terrible history of not liking each other, and even tries to demonstrate to Maury on stage. The two are always constantly texting each other and even recalls a time they were at dinner and Akia texted while they were together. Then Dwayne tells Lexi that he just wanted to see if Akia wanted to join him for a drink and shoot pool. As harmless as it may sound, Lexi tells Maury that Dwayne never takes her out to shoot pool. She even warns that if he fails the lie detector test, she's going to return the rings and end the relationship. Lexi goes ahead to show an intimate photo of Akia and Dwayne before mentioning that she and her husband don't have such photos and Dwayne has taken things too far by blocking her on Facebook. The story with Deshay gets messier because aside from being Lexi's best friend, Lexi and Dwayne are her child's godparents. The irony! What makes it even more suspicious is the fact that the baby is named Deshane, which seems like a combination of Dwayne and Deshay, which means there's a possibility Dwayne could be the father, so a DNA test would be necessary. She feels Dwayne is too involved with the child's life as a godparent and is always ready to do anything for Deshay whenever she calls for help. Lexi has suspicions that Dwayne has other women up his belt too, and even suspects when he sleeps out claiming to play basketball, and when he doesn't respond to calls, it's because he's cheating. She even calls the strip club his second home because he enjoys spending money on the girls at the strip club. When Dwayne got on stage, he was confident enough that he was innocent of all accusations, up until Maury released a video of Deshay confessing to having slept with Dwayne, and even suspects him to be the father of her child. Even after all this, Dwayne maintained that they were all lies. Akia tries to defend herself by saying the allegations were false and the pictures Lexi is using as evidence were taken while they were all drinking at their house. She even mentions that Dwayne has looked at her suggestively and even complained to Lexi but never done anything to pursue, since she has no time for little boys. Deshay claims that there's a possibility of Dwayne being her baby's father, but cannot prove it yet because they don't resemble each other. She tells Lexi that she kept the secret because she never intended to hurt her in the first place. As much as she seems solid with her claims, Deshay had refused to take a lie detector test, so her claims of sleeping with Dwayne couldn't be validated. As Maury reads out the paternity test results, Lexi was relieved to discover her husband was not the father. The detector test determined that he'd not slept with Akia and Deshay either. Just as he thought he'd gotten in the clear, the lie detector determined he cheated with strippers and other women. Lexi was very disappointed in the outcome of the lie detector test and told him the relationship was done.
My Tika has a car, right?
Yes, sir.
Who does she let drive the car?
Ricky.
Him? Not you. I done been with him.
Number 3. Sharukh and Ricky. Sharukh and Ricky are no new faces on The Maury Show. They'd been there before after a woman accused Ricky of fathering her child and cheating on Sharukh with her recently. As recent as a week before getting on the show, which Ricky denies. However, the reason Sharukh got Ricky on the show is to find out if he was having any sexual relations with his brother's girlfriend, Kenetha. What makes this whole situation cringy to watch is the fact that Ricky has fooled around with his brother's previous girlfriends, and this wasn't going to be a first. Sharukh feels there's more to their relationship than just friendship, since Kenetha also allows Ricky to drive her car and never gives it to her boyfriend. She even has the idea that Ricky has taken Kenetha on a McDonald's date. Not sure if those two words match on the same sentence. On a very tricky situation, Sharukh busted her husband naked while they were chilling with Kenetha. This smells fishy, but get a load of this. Ricky has also been busted in X-rated Facebook groups, flirting with various women, and doesn't deny the allegations, claiming it was just to pass time. Everything that was coming out of that man's mouth just screams guilty, but he continued to adamantly deny his involvement with Kenetha and even called her his small sister. When the lie detector test results came in, Sharukh was pleased to know Ricky wasn't messing around with Kenetha as suspected. However, he had secrets up his sleeve. When asked about the other women, it was revealed he was cheating and had cheated previously. That's not all. His brother was shocked to find out he'd slept with his previous exes too.
They like, is this John? Like, yeah, what's up? He like, hey bro, I'm sorry to tell you, that baby ain't yours. What? Hold on.
Number 2, Kiara and Jordan. Kiara says Jordan was super excited to be the father of her daughter at first, but when Jordan received a call saying he wasn't the dad, things changed. Is Jordan the father of Kiara's newborn, or does she have the wrong man? Kiara is 100% sure that Jordan is her baby, Zoe's father, and even thinks they look alike even though they don't. She tells Maury she's given Jordan no reason to distrust her since she's never cheated on him or even showed interest in another man. For Jordan, however, he's been presented the whole time, including the 9 months Kiara was pregnant, and even took care of her when she needed the most attention. He opens up about their friendship and the fact that they've been friends long since they decided to try a romantic relationship and considered Kiara his best friend. He simply couldn't disregard the random call he received 2 weeks after Zoe was born. Jordan says a random man called him and bluntly told him he was sorry to break the news to him in such a manner, but the baby girl he thought was his isn't. This raised so much doubt and suspicion, causing him to disappear from the picture. This led to Kiara's sister stepping in and helping her out with the child. The two wanted him to step up and take responsibility as father. Kiara's sister believed that Jordan might have chickened out and decided to bail out before it was too late, because it made no sense taking the word of a stranger via call who left no contact or nothing. Yet, Jordan claimed to have called back but never got a response since the number was offline, making everything seem suspicious. On the bright side, Jordan wasn't ready to let his relationship with Kiara go down the drain, if the baby turned out to be his since they'd been good friends long before they got into a relationship. He just wanted Kiara's sister to stop meddling and give them a break. When Maury got the DNA results, his pause caused attention since no one knew what to expect, only for Jordan to be crowned a father.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it, it really works.
I know for a fact she was sleeping with 5 other guys, but most of them aren't careful like I am. Jakaya always wanted to have a baby with me.
Number 1, Jakaya and Emory. Jakaya and Emory are ex-boyfriend and girlfriend. Jakaya believes Emory is the father of her child, but Emory believes it's someone else because she slept with 5 other guys after the demise of their relationship. Speaking to Maury, Jakaya reveals how hard it's been for her to get through her high school with adult issues and even balancing her time between school and taking care of her child. Photos show that she and Emory had a sweet young relationship for a while until they fell apart. Jakaya reveals by the time she discovered she was pregnant, Emory had already initiated a romantic relationship with another girl and even doubted the possibility of being her baby daddy. Emory claims that he had his doubts with Jakaya since she'd slept with other men and always used protection while they were together. He felt like she was going to come in between his dreams and joining the creative arts school with a baby he wasn't sure is his. As emotional as it sounds, Emory reveals some more shocking news, that Jakaya had been intimate with a relative from his family, and could be the reason there's such a great resemblance as she claimed. Jakaya had even taken the opportunity to lay side-by-side photos of her baby and Emory just to convince Maury, but the DNA test results were the final verdict. Since caring for a young child is stressful, her mother, Keisha, has been present most of the time to care for her daughter and grandchild. She seems furious with Emory, who tries to troll Jakaya on Facebook and even threatens to meddle with things once anyone tries to cross the line and hurt her daughter. After some confrontations, Emory confesses to Maury that Jakaya had initially come clean about sleeping with other people and had even switched the story about her expecting dates and a possible miscarriage. Emory, who's only been with his alleged child once, isn't ready to care for any children, as he claims to be focusing on his career. Did this guy forget that this girl had to take a break from school to care for this baby? Anyways, before you get furious with him, turns out Jakaya already knew what type of person he was and admitted that she expected him to deny the pregnancy in the first place. He didn't seem much invested in the relationship while it lasted either. However, he agreed to take care of the baby if he turned out to be the father and be more present. When Maury came out with the DNA results, there was no such tension in the room. Even the audience was eager to know the outcome. Emory was not the baby daddy. He seemed sure to know who the baby daddy was, though, and even hinted at it being his family member. Jakaya at this point felt embarrassed, but luckily Maury tried to comfort her and even welcomed her once again to his show if she'd ever need further assistance in finding the father of her baby. Talk about a plot twist.